people, and welcome to the Jennifer Diamond channel. My name is Jennifer Diamond, and I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach living a whole food, plant-based lifestyle for health and well-being. And I got to tell you, it truly, truly, truly gave me my life back. Yes, and I believe it can help you with yours too. So I just got to tell you, I am left unattended again. And boy, Todd is on his way here, but he isn't here right this moment. He was with a client. And I got to tell you, this stuff is hard to do all by yourself, at least for me. I was getting so excited about cutting up citrus and like showing you everything. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I should have started the countdown. So I apologize. I think I was about a minute or so behind. But anyways, we're here now together and I am super excited. Welcome everybody. I am so happy that you're here with me today. So go ahead and say hello in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, well, you can still comment and ask questions and I will respond as soon as I am able to. So today we're talking about citrus. I'm not talking about just oranges and lemons and limes, which we have here as well, but citrus as an entire category of fruit. You'd be surprised just how much citrus shows up everywhere in our lives, right? So it's in food, it's in drinks, cleaning products, fragrances, and even traditional medicine. And yet, when most of us think about the importance of citrus for health, we think about vitamin C and then we stop there, right? And while vitamin C is important, citrus is so much more than just vitamin C. So I would like to start by asking you guys a question. Okay, when you think of citrus, what's the first thing that comes to mind? That was the question that I wanted to ask. And then Todd had said, when you think of citrus, what's the first fruit that comes to mind? So either one of those, I'd love to hear from you guys. And you know, while we're waiting until you share with me, I want to help you understand citrus. Where it comes from, how it grows, what's inside it, how it interacts with the body and its benefits beyond just vitamin C that it's, you know, become really famous for. Because when you understand food, I think you use it differently. At least that's how it works for me. And citrus isn't just a flavor category. It's actually a botanical family that includes literally thousands of citrus varieties in the world today. And depending on how they're classified, estimates range from like over 1,000 to more than 2,500 different types of citrus. So I know that I've never had that many. I'm not aware that I have. And so it really is like, wow, okay, what is all of this citrus about, right? And what's also really fascinating is that all of that diversity can be traced back to just a few original ancestral species. That includes pomelo, which I have right here, a citron, which citron, which I have. Gosh, I didn't put some out, but I actually do have some. Let me grab a little. Hold on. You know, I don't see anything going on in the chat, and I'm just wondering if you guys, if I'm just not seeing something, but hopefully it's just that there's not a lot of activity. But I am definitely wanting to say hello to everybody in the chat, and just know that if you are putting anything in there right now, I'm just not seeing it. So anyways, this guy right here, the Buddha's hand, and we also have mandarin, which I also have here, these little guys right here, mandarin, and papita, which I don't have. So I'm going to pull up, let's see if I can pull up a photo. I want to just see. Okay, so right here, See that? Okay. From This is like the citrus family chart. Okay. And so from those few originals at the top, centuries of natural cross pollination and human cultivation created the citrus fruit that we recognize today. So when we talk about oranges or lemons and grapefruits, we're not actually talking about original fruits. We're talking about hybrids. Did you guys know that? So, for example, sweet oranges are a hybrid of pomelo. So, if you look, that's the one in the center there, and you go down. And also, mandarin is another one on the chart there that's at the top. So, let's say grapefruits came from pomelo crossed with sweet orange, right? And many lemons are hybrids of citron or citron. I keep saying it my own way, and bitter orange. So this hybridization is what citrus fruits vary so much in flavor. That's why there's such a variation in the flavor, in the acidity, in the sweetness, in the aroma, and how they even affect our body. So beyond the most familiar citrus fruit, there are many others that people may recognize by name, even if they don't eat them often. And so let me come back to the camera here. I thought that was kind of fascinating to share. And I did recently do a show on the Buddha's hand, which I have over here. If you haven't seen it, it's a show totally dedicated just to that guy. Check it out on my YouTube channel as a replay under the live category. And as I mentioned in the video, Buddha's hand is part of the citron family or citron family. Some of the other more common citrus fruits that you may be familiar with include tangerines. And I have some of these here, and I cut them open, the ones that I have, because I wanted you to be able to see the differences inside. Now, I don't have all of the ones that I'm going to talk about, but if I do, I will definitely point them out to you guys. And so tangerines, clementines, satsumas. Now, this one is a sumo, which is a little different, and I didn't cut him open. We can, but because this one usually peel. Anyways, those that I mentioned are all the mandarin varieties. And that's this guy right here, these little tiny guys. Isn't that interesting that so much can come from just that? And then there's the blood oranges, and I do have some right here. Look at the blood oranges. I mean, the color is fantastic. And boy, they smell different than other oranges that I've had. But the blood orange is known for that deep red flesh. There's the Meyer lemons. Well, I have some different lemons here. The Meyer lemons typically have a thinner skin. And I don't believe that this particular one is a Meyer, but I do have a Meyer. I think it's over here. And it's they are actually a lemon mandarin hybrid. So there's kind of a cross. It's just really kind of fun. And then the pomelos, which are these guys right here, they're larger and they're milder than a regular grapefruit. Have you guys seen these? And this not cut up is a pomelo. Look at this guy. He's really big and such a pretty one. And so there's also, okay, yes, and I mentioned that about the grapefruit. So there you go. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit larger, and there's a whole bunch of grapefruits as well. Then there's also the yuzu, which I don't have here. It's often used for its aroma more than it's used for its juice. There's kumquats. Oh, I wish I had some kumquats. We used to have a kumquat tree, but unfortunately it didn't make it because, well, that's a long story. But kumquats are these little tiny ones which are eaten whole. You eat the peel and everything, and they're really good. The peel is actually the sweeter part, and the inside is the kind of like more like a lemon, like kind of soury. And then there's something called calamansi, I think, commonly used in the Southeast Asian cooking. So they use different kinds of things for their cooking. And there's also the bergamot, and I hope that I'm saying these correctly because I'm not used to cooking with all of these or even eating with these. But that one is best known for its fragrance, and it's used in teas. I mean, that's another place to look, right? Our citrus is in teas. And then there's the Seville oranges, which are bitter and traditionally used for marmalade. And another one is finger limes. They're sometimes called citrus caviar because of their texture. And I don't have any of those, but I do have these other regular limes. Now, Todd just walked in. So hello, welcome here, Mr. Todd.
Hi.
And I was just saying that I don't see anything in the chat. But do you see anything in the chat?
About?
Anything. I have nothing in my feed here.
Oh, let's see if we can fix that.
So he's going to fix that. Hopefully, thank goodness for Todd, because boy, left alone, sometimes that's tough. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I don't know if you could see it on your end, but I'm just going to continue and let me know if you see anything in the chat, because I really wanted to chat in the chat.
Okay.
And I also wanted to ask questions. So anyways, going back to the reason that we're chatting today, some of those are just a list that barely scratches the surface. There are so many. And each of these citrus fruits has a slightly different balance of acids, sugars, fibers, plant compounds. And that's why citrus isn't one nutritional experience, right? It's a family of fruits with a wide range of effects, flavors, and even uses. So I was hoping to see if anybody answered in the chat, but I'm not seeing anything. What are you seeing? You do not have a mic on, sweetie?
No. Colleen says, I think of oranges.
Oh, Colleen, welcome. And so the question was, when you think of citrus, what's the first fruit that comes to mind? And then I also said, what's the first thing that comes to mind based on my conversation with Todd? And you said, Colleen said...
Oranges.
Oranges. So when you think of citrus, you think of oranges. I'll tell you, when I first heard this, the first thing that I thought of wasn't a fruit. It was sunshine, because it just feels bright, right? And then I thought, wow, what about a fruit? And you know what? The first fruit that comes to mind, I'm going to say probably oranges as well. I would love to ask you to answer that, Todd, and just what is the first citrus fruit that comes to mind? And also, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of citrus?
First fruit that comes to mind is lemon.
Ooh, I love lemon.
And the first thing that comes to mind is sour.
Sour, and not sunshine, huh?
No, not sunshine.
Okay. Well, I want to ask another question. And can you see the chat?
I can see the chat.
Okay. So another question for you guys is, are citrus peels flammable? Let me know what you think. So while you're answering that, and Todd will let us know. Oh, yes. Were you going
Course Scorpy says lemon. And I think, let me get back up there. There was another oranges. Jill Caperdon sells oranges. I think that was it.
Oh, awesome.
I apologize if I'm missing anyone.
Yeah. And so.
And Colleen said oranges.
Yes. Okay. So, that seems to be the most common answers. I don't think of pomelo when I think of citrus. I do think of blood orange, but not first. I don't know.
John Jew's in on lemon.
Okay. Very good. Well, welcome all of you guys that are here in the chat that I just wish I could see you, but for whatever reason, Todd will help us get through that. Okay, so thank you for that. And then I had just asked another question, which is, are citrus peels flammable? So
we do have one in from Course Scorpy. says flammable once dried out, but perhaps once dried out, perhaps, but I don't think they will burn initially due to moisture. Speculation.
Okay, well, hang on to those thoughts. I want to give everybody a chance, and I might ask you to read that again, but that is a really, really good one. Okay, and so while the rest of you are answering that, let's talk about how citrus shares common traits, and that these traits are not accidental, right? They have thick rinds, which protect the fruit as it grows and allows it to store and travel well. And they have segmented flesh, which is nature's way of packaging fruit, juice and fiber and nutrients in the small digestible portions. They contain acidic juice, which gives citrus its bright, sharp flavor and also plays a role in preservation and digestion. And their peels are rich in aromatic oils. Those oils are one of the most distinctive features of citrus. So if you've ever peeled an orange, which we could do together, let's see if we, and I don't know if it'll happen with the Sumo oranges, but if you've ever peeled an orange or a lemon, and then you notice like, well, this is a little different. Let's try it. See if it works with this. We can always, I don't know if you could see that, but sometimes there's, well, you can't see it, but I could definitely smell the burst of scent in the air. Now that's not just smell, okay? But it is good. And now we can kind of look at this guy here. Wow! And I can show you this other one as well. So definitely, you notice the scent in the air. Do you guys follow me with that? I definitely, I want to cut this in half because I want to show people the inside of this one as well. So look at that. Look at that. It's so pretty. Okay. Even though it's easy to peel, you usually don't cut a lot of those. All right. So let's have Todd help us out. Can you check the chat? Are citrus peels flammable?
Corscorpy speculates that they are once dried out, but probably not initially due to moisture. Colleen says, I don't think so.
Okay. Todd, your first thought.
Well, initially when we talked about this, I'm like, no.
Okay. So my first thought was, I don't know. I don't know. So the only thing that I think is fair to do is to do a demonstration with you guys, right? So let's move a couple of things temporarily out of the way, and let's see if we can answer this question.
Mona and Lisa believe yes, it is flammable.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to find out.
2 yeses, 2 no's.
2 yeses, 2 no's, and I'm just going to move
well, 3, including me.
A few of these things. I've got a candle over here. I originally was going to use this candle, but I thought maybe this one would be better.
Do it.
Okay, so I've got them both. We could try them both. So the first thing you want to do is get an orange. Well, gee, where could I get some citrus? Okay, and by the way, I really love this little guy. Have you guys ever seen this? Is like a Tupperware. I don't even know if they make these anymore. This is like the greatest tool for citrus, I think. And maybe I'll do this one. But anyways, so what I am going to do is just kind of that one actually squirted. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's what I was looking for with the other one. But I'm just going to take some peel. I'm going to take some generous peel here. And this thing cuts it, right? And then you can use this piece to kind of go underneath and get it all started. All right. And I'm just going to peel the skin off of this.
So Jill Caperton is voting yes that it will burn.
Okay.
Marilyn Dubin says, I think everything burns eventually.
I really like that. Okay. So, okay. Any others?
Lisa says her mom used to have one of those peelers.
Oh, really? Isn't it the greatest? Used to. I hope you do still, because they're great. Okay. I'm just going to light both of them just in case we need some extra flame here. I don't know if I
do not try this at home.
Why? You can just, be adult about it. And if you're not an adult, get an adult. Okay.
Nice disclaimer.
Okay, so here is the peel that I am going to use. This is the inside, and there's the outside. And what I'm going to try to do, okay, the peel of different citrus fruits, such as lemons, limes, and oranges, they well, let me just do this first, and then I'll talk to you about what's in them. So what I want to do is I want to just kind of squeeze and see if anything happens here. Let's see. Oh, it's wet, but it's not. I'm trying to see if I can. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if you could see that. Could you see that?
Yeah,
Not on the
there's a
camera?
little spark. I can see a little spark. I don't know if they can see that.
Let me try some other ones. Woo! Did you see that one?
That I saw.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me try this. Oh. So the idea is, and let me try a different one. I'm trying actually more than I thought. Let's try some of these. This is a mandarin. This one is the sumo, and this one was the this guy right here, the navel. Okay, so let's try one more. I just want to see if we could. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see. So what's happening here is that I'm trying to squeeze the peel. The peels, like I started to say, are different. Citrus fruits, they're different. The peels are different in citrus fruits, such as lemons, limes, oranges, and they contain a chemical called limonene. Okay, and that chemical, limonene, is highly flammable. So when you squeeze the peel, the oils from the peel ignite. And that's the spark that we started to see. And boy, it's kind of weird. I almost feel like I want to do it a little bit more. Don't you want to? Oh God, it's squeezing. Let's see. You got to get close though. And it's not like you want it. I think it's really harder. I don't know. I was hoping that it would be, that you would be able to see it better. Is anyone saying if they could even see what we could see?
Scorpio says he's technically correct. The
Look
peel
at
itself
that.
doesn't burn, but the oils that you're squeezing out do.
Yes, yes. That's a smart core Scorpio. But I think everybody, oh, okay, I'm just having fun now. I think everybody that shared their thoughts are, wonderful, and thank you so much for playing. I honestly didn't know. I just wish it would do a little bit more, but what do you think? Should I try just a little bit?
Doing the peel over the flame.
What do you mean? Oh, like this? So that it burns me?
Well, no, not so that it burns you.
Ready?
There we go.
Oh,
that was a good one.
I hope you guys could see that. It's hard to see. Can you see it on the?
It's hard to see,
yeah.
but it is working.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're going to sit here for like 2 hours.
I am
just
like
squeezing peels.
Squeezing peels. At any rate, okay. So is everybody happy with that? Should I keep peeling or no? We're good. Okay, I was having fun with that. So I'm gonna put these peels aside, and I have this little thing that I should have brought with, but let me move these out of the way. Yeah, that was kind of fun. I thought that was fun. I don't know. Did you guys think that was fun? Okay, let me put that aside for later. Let me move these guys back here, and we are going to move on. I just thought that was an interesting question and a fun thing to play around with. All right, so we've got our, where did my bowl go? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Core Scorpio has a comment.
Yes, please.
Vegan fireworks.
I love it. I love it. Yes.
Naturally sourced with citrus oil.
What's that?
Naturally sourced with citrus oil.
Naturally sourced with citrus oil. I love that. Okay, so there we go, you guys. We're back here. I think I'm going to just rinse my hands, although they smell amazing. Gosh. Yummy, yummy. Okay. So the citrus peel contains the oil stored in these tiny little glands, okay? And to help you with that, I'm going to show a picture. let me just see here. Oh, there you go. And I wish it was in color. It's not. So, we do the best we can here. But when the peel is cut or twisted or warmed, those oils are released. And you can see where they are in the picture here, the glands. And these oils are made up of natural plant compounds that are highly aromatic and biologically active. Okay. And so I'm wondering, does anybody know what happens in your body when you smell that smell from the citrus peel? Like I am. Everybody go grab citrus. So that's a real question. Does anybody know what happens to your body when the smell that you smell from citrus peel? What happens in your body when you smell that smell?
You're going to have to explain the peel. The graphics aren't showing up on their end for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. So let's just use a real thing here. And this one I think might be good. Let's see here. Okay, so I don't know if you could see when you're looking at it, besides that it's shiny, there are these little tiny holes. And it's not even a hole.
It's like a dimple.
It's a dimple. It's an indentation, okay? And inside those, oh, I wonder if you could even see here. You could also see here, right around this very edge, it's got some little tiny, it just looks like little circles almost, okay? And let me just, I'm going to just pull this up even.
It's not going to show.
Oh, it's not going to show.
Show.
Okay. So, all right. So anyways, those are the oil glands. Okay. And so there's like natural oil inside those little divots. And so when we squeeze it, then that is what's coming out. And that oil is what's flammable. So I apologize that you can't see. I don't know what's going on with some of our stuff today, that you can't see the picture. I hope that you saw the citrus family photo, because that was a good one. But anyways, if you have any other questions about this, let me know. And now, like I guess I could also show you on this guy, if you could see. See, it's really hard with the lights and everything to see. But because it's a different color, I thought maybe you'd be able to see it a little bit better. But it's really on all of them. Oh, this one is kind of a good one, and it's darker. So you can just see that it's a shiny, but it's not super smooth. I mean, it's smooth where it's not bumpy, but or sharp, but it does have some kind of ups and downs, little hilly type of, what would you call that? Pores, yeah. Yeah. If you took paint or something and you dipped it in here and then you put it on a paper, you would be able to see it as well. Okay. So, all right. So the tiny dimple dots on the outside of the orange or the lemon or the lime, they're not just for decoration. And I want to just talk a little bit further about this, because they're tiny, natural, powerful storage pockets. And those pockets are what I was trying to show you on the picture. Those pockets are the oil glands or oil pockets. And they're like tiny spherical microscopic storage tanks. And they're located on the outer colored layer of the peel, which is also called the flavonoid. Hopefully you guys, I made that really easy to follow and clear. And hopefully you learned something like I did when I was getting ready to share with you. So citrus fruits don't have hard shells like nuts, right? So the glands act as a shield, and the oil inside is filled with chemicals that can stop fungi, however which way you say it, and bacteria from doing what? From hurting the fruit. It's its own natural protection. The oils keep the rind healthy, and they help to protect the developing seeds that are inside. And why do we need seeds? We need seeds to keep producing, reproducing in a natural form, or we do it in our garden or whatever, to keep things going. So when you squeeze, twist, or peel an orange, you're breaking the tiny little pockets, releasing that fine citrus scented mist. And this is where citrus becomes more than just food. The aromatic oils interact directly with our nervous system. Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? So when you smell citrus, the aromatic compounds don't go through the digestion first. They travel straight through the olfactory nerve to the brain. And smell is unique because it connects directly to areas of the brain that are involved with mood, memory, stress, and emotional regulation. And that's why scent can change how you feel almost instantly. For many people, citrus aromas tend to be stimulating and activating, and they can increase alertness and create a sense of brightness or energy. You know, I've also heard and believe myself that it's good to have grapefruit in the morning instead of in the evening because of that reason, right? I'm trying to go to sleep at night, so I don't want to get, this alertness that I could get if I have it in the morning. For me, that would be the time. So that's just an example. But for someone with a balanced nervous system, that can feel, uplifting and refreshing. But if the nervous system is already under stress, then the same stimulation can feel very overwhelming. And I kind of say that because my system over the years has felt that overwhelming feeling, not necessarily from citrus, but anyways, I just understand that. So citrus isn't just affecting the taste or digestion, it's also sending a signal to our nervous system. And how that signal is received depends on the state of our body, right? So that's why two people can peel the same orange and have very different experiences. So it's not a psychological thing, it's actually neurological, which I find fascinating. Historically, citrus peels and oils weren't just discarded either. Originally, historically, they were dried, they were infused and used intentionally for their aromatic properties. So I just want to take a minute and show you. I have a couple of examples right here of citrus rind that I have kept peeled and dehydrated and ground up. This one's not ground very well, but this is a grapefruit rind, and I can use it, in spices and, with any blends to flavor things. So I just wanted to share that I have a grapefruit one, and I have a lemon powder, and these are, and a lime. And you can see, this is the lime, I'll just show you. So they're different colors, they're different textures. And they smell pretty good. But I feel like if I was gonna use this, I might grind it up again a little bit more. And then I'll just quickly show you the last one, just because I thought this was fun. I actually have an orange one also. This one is kind of chunkier. But I don't know where the orange one is right now. Sorry, orange. So I thought I would just show you those for now. So anyway, when we talk about citrus affecting the nervous system, we're not talking about something separate from nutrition, okay? We're talking about the fact that citrus works on multiple levels at once. So taste, smell, digestion, and perception. And that multi-layered interaction is part of what makes citrus such a powerful and unique category of fruit. Okay, so I had asked the question, can you check the chat? Does anyone know what happens in your body when you smell that smell from citrus peels? Nobody says, okay, no, nothing you're saying? So nobody really knows, I'm going to assume. Or if you do, you just weren't sharing. But citrus is believed to have originated approximately 7 to 8 million years ago. Wow. And where? In Southeast Asia, right? In regions that are now parts of southern China, northeastern India, and in some of the surrounding areas there. But obviously, citrus didn't stay there only. As early civilization began trading goods and sharing plants and moving across regions, then citrus traveled with them. And it moved along the ancient trade routes into India. I wanted to have a map, but we didn't, and I don't even know if they could see it. So hopefully you're following where that is. Into India, and then the Middle East and the Mediterranean, and it spread through exploration, and then later through colonization. And eventually, citrus trees were planted anywhere the climate allowed. So what's important to understand is that early citrus fruits were not the sweet fruits that you think of today. They were actually really bitter, and they were super sour, and they weren't eaten for pleasure. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? But what were they used for? They were used and valued for function. Citrus fruit stored well compared to many other of the fresh foods, and they have the thick rinds that protect them from spoilage, and they resisted mold and decay better than like a softer fruit. It's pretty cool. They could survive long journeys by land and sea without completely breaking down, and that made them one of the few fresh foods that could accompany people on extended voyages. I take citrus on my extended voyages as well. When I think of things that aren't going to get smashed in my bag when I travel, citrus is one of those things. And while all of those traits made them incredibly valuable in a time before refrigeration, most importantly, citrus helped prevent nutrient deficiency. So long before vitamins were isolated or named, or supplements came in the bottles, people saw that consuming citrus helped prevent illness during long periods without fresh food. One of the most well-documented illnesses that citrus was used to prevent is scurvy. Scurvy, if you're not sure what that is, go check it out. Or Todd, you can
check it out. Don't get it.
Yeah, no. It's scurvy, which more frequently affected sailors, and it caused fatigue and bleeding gums and very poor wound healing, and eventually death. So during long voyages without fresh food, so citrus fruit prevented and reversed these symptoms. Isn't that amazing? And then we now know why, which we know now is caused by severe vitamin C deficiency, scurvy. Another is poor wound healing that we just mentioned, and infection. So people who consumed citrus healed wounds more quickly and were more resistant to infection during times of injury and illness. And that's because vitamin C in the citrus supports collagen formulation, which is essential for our skin's integrity and our immune defense. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. I have lots of citrus to eat here. I wish I could start handing it out and sharing it with all of you. So also during long journeys, many people experienced weakness, wasting, and mental dullness when diets lacked fresh plant foods. Hello, what did I say? Diets lacked fresh plant foods. Everyone, eat your greens and your citrus. But adding citrus helped restore energy, endurance, and overall resilience under a lot of those harsh conditions. Citrus was also used to stimulate appetite and support digestion when people were eating heavy, preserved diets. Its acidity and the aroma helped activate digestive processes, and then it reduced nausea, for example, during travel. So citrus wasn't seen as a snack or an accessory. It wasn't seen as a dessert. And because it wasn't the sweet fruit that we know today, it certainly wasn't seen as something added for flavor. For thousands of years, it was actually valued for its medicinal qualities. The sweetness part, sweetness that came later. So as citrus was cultivated over generations, humans selected fruits for traits like sweetness, no way, juiciness, and lower bitterness. And that's how citrus gradually shifted from a functional food into something that we associate with juices and desserts and casual snacking even. But again, historically, citrus earned its place because it's supported health when conditions were really, really difficult. So when we look at citrus that way, it makes sense why it still behaves differently in the body compared to many of the other fruits. Do we have any comments or anything? Nope, we're good.
Nope.
Okay, so citrus wasn't designed, to be a passive food. It was designed by nature and by history to do something. And remembering that helps us use citrus with more intention today. Now, let's talk about how citrus grows. Let me ask you guys a question. Hopefully Todd will see in the chat there. Does citrus continue to ripen after it's been harvested? Do you guys know? Yes or no? Does citrus continue to ripen after it's been harvested? All right. So citrus, let me show a picture. Oh, none of the pictures work? Okay. Citrus grows on evergreen trees. I had an image to share of a citrus tree, but I guess we're having technical difficulties. So you just get to have my face instead. Actually, we have a citrus tree in the yard. Too bad I can't move the camera out there and show. That would have been fun. But at any rate, these trees need warm climates, sunlight, and well-drained soil. They don't like frost or sudden temperature changes. Citrus fruit takes months to develop. And I know firsthand, oh my gosh, it's taken our tree years. But once it's harvested, okay, it does not continue to ripen. Citrus takes months to develop. Go ahead.
You had 3 yeses. 3 people believed that it continues to ripen.
Who?
It was Lisa, Colleen, and Marilyn.
Oh.
I would have said yes as well.
Okay, so yeah, it does not continue to ripen. So it's really interesting. Whatever balance of sugar, acid, water, and plant compounds exist in the moment it's picked is what you're going to get. So harvest timing directly affects sweetness. It affects acidity, and it affects nutrient composition. And that means when citrus is picked, that means that when it's picked, that really matters. It really matters. So as citrus matures on the tree, the natural sugars gradually increase. At the same time, certain organic acids begin to shift and plant compounds continue to develop. Okay, so when citrus is picked too early, the acid profile tends to be sharper and more dominant. The sugars haven't fully developed yet, and the overall chemical balance can feel more aggressive in the body. So when citrus is allowed to ripen longer on the tree, the sugar to acid ratio changes. The flavor becomes more rounded, and the bitterness often softens. And the fruit tends to feel more balanced when we eat it. And this is just one reason citrus grown and harvested closer to the ripening often tastes different. But it can also be perceived differently as well. So some people may feel like, earlier harvested citrus is more stimulating or more intense or more irritating even, while some fully ripened citrus can feel gentler and more grounded or easy to digest. And that sensation isn't imagined. No, that difference isn't about personal preference alone. It's actually chemistry. So, citrus contains organic acids, sugars, enzymes, and plant compounds that interact with digestion, blood sugar response, and the nervous system, like we said earlier. And when those elements are out of balance, when the acidity is high and the sugars are underdeveloped, then the body responds totally differently. And when citrus is allowed to ripen fully and is eaten closer to harvest time, it often feels gentler and more balanced than citrus that's picked early to survive long distance shipping. I mean, so, early harvesting improves shelf life, right? So that's a good thing, and transport durability. Later harvesting improves the flavor complexity and the biochemical balance. So I like to get it near where it's grown, but honestly, neither approach is wrong or right. They're just they just serve different purposes, and it's just kind of cool to learn that and know that. But understanding this helps explain why, say, two oranges can look nearly identical, and yet they produce completely different experiences in the body. So when someone says, citrus doesn't agree with me, or that citrus tastes amazing, right? They may not be talking about the fruit itself. They may be responding to the harvest timing. And once you understand that, then citrus might become less confusing and much easier to work um, with intentionality. Okay, I want to try to ask another question if we're still okay with the chat there. All right. Is the pith, that's the white, I moved everything, the white spongy part, let me grab a piece right here. Is the pith, this white spongy part, between the peel and the juicy fruit, is that part good for you, or should you discard it? This white part here. And here, I'm going to show it also here. Yes.
And this comes at a good time because Colleen just asked, how about the nutritional value of the pith?
Okay. So we're going to get into that. Okay, so the question is the pithy, the white spongy section that Colleen just mentioned that's between the peel and the juicy fruit good for you, or should you just discard it and move on? Okay, now let's talk about the structure of a citrus fruit, because citrus isn't just one thing, right? It's layered. There's the outer peel, which is thick and protective, and like I said earlier, is rich in those oils, those aromatic oils. And then, excuse me, it's very citrusy in here. And then there's the white, pithy underneath the peel, and this part is often discarded, but it's actually rich in fiber and bioactive plant compounds, including flavonoids that behave very differently in the body than the juice does alone. It can help to slow digestion and influence how sugar and acids are absorbed, and it helps moderate blood sugar response. It supports gut health and interacts with inflammation pathways in a way that, say, juice alone does not. So that's great that it has health benefits, but I mean, it's not the tastiest thing, I think, by itself. But, in my research, I learned that there are things that we can do, or that we can make with the pith. And some examples are, candied citrus peels, But, for me, I mean, that might not be what I want to do with it, but it is something you can do. People can make marmalades out of it and jams. You can put it in smoothies and purees, and you can even zest it and add it to recipes. And so, like when preparing the candy, for example, one thing like that I learned is that you would boil the peel and the pith. Okay. And why you would want to do that is because, okay, so you would boil the peel and the pith, and then you want to drain that water. Don't use that water, discard that water, and then use the peel and the pith, because boiling them reduces the bitterness. So if you're, using it for candying, for example, that will help reduce it. Now, when you're adding it to smoothies, which is what I like smoothies, the intense flavor from the citrus helps to mask the bitterness. So, I mean, it's probably still going to be bitter if you ask me, but at least, we can try to put it in things and get the benefits, because apparently there are. And this is why traditional food cultures rarely use only the juice, right? They dried the peels, they infused them, they used small amounts intentionally. They understood intuitively that the whole fruit offered something different than just sweetness or acidity. The whole fruit, go figure. And then there's the flesh and the juice, and the part that most of us are familiar with. And this is where the natural sugars and the acids and the water and the vitamins are concentrated. So most people consume only the flesh or the juice. And that's what we're used to doing, right? That's what's been marketed as the useful part of the fruit. And that whole food perspective helps us remember that citrus wasn't originally meant to be stripped down to one part. Its structure is part of its function. Okay, so any other answers about the pith?
Of course, Scorpio said it was good for you. Colleen said it was good for you. Natalie says caracara are one of my favorite types of orange.
Welcome. Yes. Oh, that's great. That's another one that I don't have right here. You guys are all right. I am so proud of you guys. So now let's talk about nutrition. And most people know, I do want to tell you, I am running long today, and I do have a recipe that I am going to share. So hopefully you guys will hang out for that. We will not continue to talk forever, but we do want to talk a little bit longer. And so, yes, let's just move on to nutrition. Most people know that citrus, they know citrus for vitamin C. And yes, citrus does contain vitamin C. And vitamin C plays an important role in immune function. It supports collagen formation, which matters for the skin, we mentioned earlier, also the joints and the blood vessels. And it acts as an antioxidant, helping the body manage oxidative stress. Okay, so I guess before I go any further, let me just briefly explain what oxidative stress is if you don't already know. So oxidative stress happens when there's an imbalance in the body between free radicals and antioxidants. And hopefully that doesn't sound even more confusing, but free radicals are unstable molecules that are naturally produced through things like metabolism, digestion, exercise, stress, and exposure to pollution and exposure to toxins. And in small amounts, they're normal and they're even useful. But when free radicals build up faster than the body can neutralize them, then they can start damaging the good cells and proteins and DNA, and that is not a good thing. So that ongoing damage is what is called oxidative stress. Okay, so over time, oxidative stress is linked to aging and many chronic health conditions. And it's not because the body is failing, but because it's under this constant demand, right? And the goal isn't to eliminate free radicals completely, the goal is something that I always like to say, the goal is balance. Balance. And that's where whole foods, including citrus, come in. They help support the body's own antioxidant system so it can keep that balance more effectively. Okay? But citrus isn't special just because of vitamin C alone. So, if vitamin C were the whole story, right, supplements would behave the same way as food, and they don't. Citrus contains a diverse mix of compounds that work together in ways isolated in ways that isolated nutrients can't. So, key flavonoids like hesperidin and
Narinogen.
blah, 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 say that 10 times fast. Those support blood vessel health, circulation, and they help regulate inflammation, where compounds such as rutin and quercetin, found especially in the peel and the pith, strengthen capillaries. Yay! And they contribute to immune and antioxidant function, which we mentioned. And citrus also contains, which we said earlier, limonene, an aromatic compound concentrated in the peel that interacts with the nervous system through sense and supports detoxification pathways. Wow! Together, these compounds help manage oxidative stress, support metabolic and vascular health, and explain why whole citrus behaves very differently in the body than juice or vitamin C supplements alone. And oh my gosh, all of a sudden the chat is showing some stuff. So these compounds don't work in isolation. They interact with one another, and they help regulate oxidative stress by supporting the body's own antioxidant systems rather than simply neutralizing free radicals on their own. And they support blood vessel function by influencing how blood vessels relax and respond, which is part of why citrus has been studied in relation to cardiovascular health. They interact with liver detoxification pathways. They help the body process and eliminate substances more effectively and efficiently. And they influence inflammation, not by shutting inflammation down completely, but by helping to keep it balanced. And this is important because inflammation isn't always bad. It is part of healing. What matters is regulation so that inflammation doesn't become like this huge problem. And this is where whole citrus becomes very different from isolated vitamin C. Okay? So when you consume vitamin C on your own, you get one nutrient. I don't know if you can hear Remy, but he's barking. So he's saying hello to everyone. You get one nutrient in one form acting alone when you consume vitamin C on its own. And when you eat whole citrus, you get vitamin C delivered alongside fiber, flavonoids, acids, enzymes, and aromatic compounds, all arriving together in the context the body evolved to recognize. And that is just amazing to me. That combination affects how nutrients are absorbed, how long they stay active, and how they interact with digestion and metabolism. Hey, Remy, you're off camera. He's wagging his tail and saying hello. This is why whole citrus behaves differently in the body than a vitamin C supplement. And it's not because supplements are bad, right? It's because food is more complex and designed to deliver a variety of components that are meant to work together. Citrus isn't powerful because it contains one hero nutrient. It's powerful because of how many compounds work together quietly, efficiently, and in partnership with each other. Here is that question. I'd like to know if anyone answers. Do acidic foods, I haven't asked this one yet. Do acidic foods, here's a question, make your body's pH more or less acidic? Do acidic foods make your body's pH balance more or less acidic? It's a good question. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about digestion, and we'll answer that, and then we are going to move on to a quick recipe. But until then, I just want to share that citrus is acidic, but acidity doesn't automatically mean bad for digestion. There's a lot of talk in the health world about acidity and illness, and it's important to understand what that actually means. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I know I'm just starting to barely go over, but there's so much that I want to share. So thank you. So you've probably heard that a healthy body is neutral, right? It's not too acidic. It's not too alkaline. Your blood stays within a very narrow range, even though different foods can place a very different demand on the body to maintain that balance, right? So think of blood pH like the temperature in your house. Okay, so you set the thermostat to 72 degrees. Yes, over here in Arizona, that is a reasonable, anyways, that doesn't matter. Okay, let's just focus. Okay, you set the thermostat to 72 degrees, and no matter what happens outside, because that's what you set it for inside, no matter what happens outside, heat, cold, wind, that thermostat keeps the temperature inside stable. But if you leave the windows open, or you run the oven all day, or you never maintain the system, the temperature may say 72 for a while, but then the system is under a lot of stress. And if it stays under stress, eventually something gives, right? Something happens. Food is like that external outside pressure. It doesn't immediately change the set point, but it changes the load on the system. So citrus, even though it's acidic, it doesn't make your body acidic. Okay, so weird that my chat is showing now. And do acidic foods make your body's pH more or less acidic? And I see a couple here. Whoops, let me see. Mona, hey Mona, good to see you. She says more, I'm gonna say. Core Scorpy, hello, more acidic. And Colleen, hello everybody. 72 sounds wonderful right now after getting 18 inches of snow. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, we on different planes, we're eating different citrus right there. Okay, so I love that you guys shared, and both of you that responded here say more acidic. Well, for most people, citrus does exactly what it's supposed to do. It increases saliva, which is the first step of digestion. It tells the stomach to produce acid, which helps break down our food. And it can support the flow of bile, which helps digest fats and move food through the system. And in those cases, citrus can actually make digestion feel smoother and more complete. So it can also help with the uptake of vitamins and minerals, especially those found in green leafies or leafy greens, right? Because of the organic acids and vitamin C, citrus can improve the absorption of certain minerals like iron from plant foods. When citrus is eaten alongside or combined with greens, beans, or whole grains, it can make those nutrients more available to the body. So I would say, so citrus isn't just contributing nutrients of its own, it can also help the body make better use of the nutrients already on your plate. And that's one of the reasons citrus and greens have been paired together across cultures for centuries, really. So is there anything else you want to share? Can you share? No? Okay, I'm just going to take a quick look here. Course Scorpio, it seems to me like it would make it more acidic, and the body responds to the additional acidity and homeostabilizes it, question mark. So while the body is able to balance this, it still spikes it, right? That's a great question. Anybody want to respond to that in the chat? Natalie Dixon says the same. And Colleen says, oh, they're talking about the cold. And oh my goodness, it sounds cold. Yeah, Todd, would you chime in and share your thoughts on what we're talking about with the acidic and homeostabilizing?
Well, I've actually read that it actually has a more alkalizing effect once it's metabolized. So, in fact, it doesn't make your body more acidic. It just actually enables the body to create a more alkalized environment. So, there may be some truth to what Core Scorpio says. I'll have to do some more digging.
Yeah, great way to keep our minds thinking. I know that, just a side note here, I know that sometimes in the Western world, they say, you know, if you have digestive issues, you shouldn't have things that are acidic. You know, tomatoes or citrus or whatever it is. But, you know, I personally disagree with that. But that's probably part of another conversation. Oh,
so according to something I am now just reading for the first time, despite being acidic on the outside of the body, citrus fruits are metabolized into alkaline components, which helps to support a healthy internal pH.
There you go. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so now, okay, and I also want to talk about how you consume the citrus matters, right? Whether you're eating the whole fruit or just drinking the juice matters. Okay, so having citrus on an empty stomach instead of alongside of a meal matters. And the amount that you have matters too. And I know I mentioned iron absorption and things like that. When I was at True North a few years ago, and if you haven't seen my story, you can check it out in my replay. And that was where I water fasted. And I continued to have their care afterwards. And I needed to make sure that my absorption was improving with iron. And so that was something they said, have some citrus with your green leaves, because it was helping with absorption. I just wanted to share that. So we talked about how the amounts matter and how you do it. And so when citrus is very concentrated, taken in quickly, like through a juice, right? Or when it's eaten, when the digestive system is already sensitive, then it can feel more stimulating than supportive, kind of a thing. And that's why citrus can feel grounding and nourishing for one person, and then a little irritating or uncomfortable for someone else. So it's not about citrus being good or bad. It's about paying attention to the context and learning what works best for your body. Now, let's talk about something we don't always connect to food, the nervous system. And as I mentioned earlier, citrus is highly aromatic, and the smell is directly connected to the nervous system. Citrus aroma is often described as energizing and uplifting and stimulating, but it's just you know, like I had said earlier, it's neurological. So anyways, I want to go ahead and start to, should I go ahead and start doing the recipe? Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's pull that up here. Okay. So, well, I don't know. I'm worried about the time. Should I just keep going a little bit, or should we do the recipe right now? What do you guys think? Are you still okay hanging out? I could talk a little bit longer, or we could switch over to the recipe. Oh, so maybe I'll talk a little bit longer. Okay, so when we eat, we're not just tasting food, right? We're smelling the food, we're digesting it and associating it with past experiences at the same time. And that's why food can instantly shift how we feel even before we swallow it. And it's not your imagination, it's how the brain and the body process sensory input. So let's clear up a few common misunderstandings before we get into the recipe, which apparently I'm excited about because I keep talking about it. Citrus is not automatically inflammatory, and it's also not automatically healing. It like most whole foods, citrus doesn't act in one direction for everyone all the time. It affects depend on the person, the amount, the form, and the context in which it's eaten. So juice is also not the same as the whole fruit, which we've already mentioned. And when citrus is juiced, the fiber is mostly removed and the sugars and acids become more concentrated and easier to consume it quickly. When you have the whole fruit, on the other hand, it comes packaged like we talked about with the fiber and the water and the structure and the pieces and all this beautiful natural revolution here that slows digestion and changes how the body responds. And so I really believe that that matters. Okay, so I am going to say, let's move on to the recipe now. Okay, so let me just pull it up here. I've got a really fun recipe, you guys, and it is a bean citrus salad. So let me move a few things out of the way. We're going to make the salad, and then we're going to make a quick dressing, and then hopefully you guys will be inspired to try some of that on your own. I'm just going to move this forward here, and I'm going to bring over some other stuff, and let's get into this recipe. Oh, okay, I have to share about these things here too, but let's first do the recipe. All right, so a few things that I have here. Da, 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 da. And we need a bowl. Never forget your bowl. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to combine stuff to make a salad. I'm also just going to bring some stuff over here. Okay, so this is a bean citrus salad. And so I'm going to tell you the recipe. And so I have here 1 cup each of garbanzo beans and black beans. Now, if you want them in a can, the cans, these 15-ounce cans, I think that's what it is, it's about 1.5 cups. But I made these from scratch, so I'm using 1 cup each. But there's going to be 4 different kinds of beans. So here's just 2 of them. The 2 that I had made from fresh dried beans, and I did 1 cup each. And then I also have these guys here, which are the kidney beans and the pinto beans. And I measured out 1 cup, and there was a little bit left. 1/2 cup or so. And so I just froze the rest, and I'll just take them out of the freezer, put them in a smoothie, or use them in another way. But you could certainly use the whole can if you want. And so we've got 4 different kinds of beans here. I hope this bowl is big enough. So we've got the pinto, the kidney, the garbanzo, and the black. Okay, now you can certainly use any bean that you want if that doesn't sound up to your liking. And so you're just going to want to make sure that they're rinsed, especially if they're in the can, rinsed, drained, no liquid. And then we're going to take some bell peppers. I already cut these up. You could do 2 medium bell peppers, or you can do what I did was I have all the little mini peppers, all the different colors. I love the colors. So I have red, orange, and yellow. And you're going to want either 2 large ones chopped up, but for me, I did 6 small ones, thinking that 3 equaled 1. And so, but it's really forgiving. Let me get a spatula here. And so we're pouring that in our bowl, right? And then we want to go ahead and add some other things here. So I've got 2 Persian cucumbers. They're kind of a smaller one, or you could use 1/2 of an English cucumber. And I also have celery stalk. This is a small celery stalk chopped up here. And then I also have some, it's about a half of a medium onion, red onion. And so I'm just going to pour all of that in there. All of that goes in here. And then I have a cup of corn. And this was frozen. So you can use fresh if you want. You can cut it off the cob. But I went ahead and do this. Now, if you're raw, I think you could probably do this with, well, you could even use sprouted beans, but I'm using these cooked beans for now. And so then we're just going to mix this up. Look at this. Look at the colors already. Oh my gosh. So pretty, so pretty. And we have a couple more things to add to this salad. One is going to be some avocado, which I kind of want to add at the end once we do the dressing. And then I also have some cilantro. And I chopped the cilantro up. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle it now, but I'm also going to leave a little to sprinkle on the top at the end. And it's about a quarter of an avocado and then just a handful of the cilantro. And I use the stems as well. Okay, so, whoops, we are going to set this aside. Let me just see for a second here. I just want to see. Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody can see this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And we haven't even dressed it yet. So this is the salad. And I'm going to set it aside so that we can now make the dressing. So let me go back to my recipe because I can't remember that. I did have these out just to show you that how it came when I did the dry. I made these, I batch cooked them, and then I put them in the freezer and I took them out. So whether it's dry or it's canned, you're fine to use whatever beans work for you. And like I said, you could even do sprouted beans as well. Okay, so for the dressing, I'm gonna use my NutriBullet. Get a little dance on. So let me just put this over here and get this ready to go. I didn't plug it in yet. And basically, I'm going to put everything in the container and then we're going to blend it there. So let me just go here really quickly. Okay. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of aquafaba. You might be like, what in the world is aquafaba? Aquafaba is the liquid in the garbanzo bean can. And so if you make it from scratch and soak it like I did, then you can also take that liquid and it's just, what's left over. And so that is what we're going to use here because I don't use any oil. So I've got 1.5 tablespoons of the aquafaba, and it will help make things nice and a little bit thicker and not so, not so thinned out. Then we also want some apple cider vinegar. I didn't measure that yet, but I am going to measure it with you. And I'm going to do about 1/8 of a cup. So this is a quarter measuring. I'm just going to fill it halfway and pour that in there. Okay, and then we are going to do some lemon and lime. No way. Okay, and I already have these cut up here, so I will grab these off of our little display, and I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons of lime juice, which is roughly 1 whole lime. I can measure it to show you, or you can take my word for it, but I'll just measure it to show you. So this is going to be 3 tablespoons because it's about 1.5 tablespoons per side, give or take. Okay, and so then I'm going to put this in here, hopefully not spill it. There's 1. And of course, if it's a little, not perfect, because they come in different sizes, the juice of 1 is plenty. And so there we go. Okay. I like to get every last drop. You know what I mean? And I love this little squeegee thing. I love this. It's like my favorite. My grandson bought it for me last year for my birthday. Okay, so there's the second tablespoon. We're still working on the other half. You just want to make sure you, and let's see if we can get one more out of this. Pretty close. We called it pretty close. So here you go. So roughly 3 tablespoons for 1 lime. Okay. So it's just a tad under if you want to get crazy. Okay. And then for the lemon, let me just take, I don't have to take these off because this thing will catch it. We want 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm going to measure this because this is going to be more, and I won't need more than I'll need. I don't need the other half. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of stop that and throw this in here. Beautiful, beautiful, you guys. Okay, and now we're going to do a clove of garlic. So I took the clove apart. I didn't peel it yet. I'm going to just take my knife, and I should have my cutting board, but it's busy right now. So you'll want to do that on a cutting board. Just take the paper off. And because I'm whipping this up, blending this up in the NutriBullet, I can just throw the whole thing in there, which is really nice because then you don't have to worry about chopping and dicing. But if you were going to be doing this by hand, which I wouldn't recommend unless, I'll talk to you why in a minute, you would want it minced, but I like it blended up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some medjool dates. You could do date paste, but I'm going to do 3 medjool dates. They've been soaking in the water. The water is wonderful, but I'm not going to use it for the dressing because it'll water it down. So I could save it and use it for something else, you know, a smoothie or in some other something that I need water. I can use this if I wanted to save it. And so these dates, I just take the pit out, and sometimes there's a little button. Oh, I just took it out before. So we're going to take the pit out, and we're just going to also, if it has, I call it a little piece on there, just take that off as well. And then you can save this for later. And so we have our 3 dates. Now, why do I want to soak them? I want to soak them because I want them to be really, really soft, and I want them to be able to blend well. If your dates are hard or they're frozen or whatever, it's not going to blend. You might have little pieces in there, and I find that if I soak it's much better. If you have time, soak it in, you know, room temperature water. If you need it faster, put a little hot water in there. It's going to be fine. So okay, so that is 3 medjool dates that were soaked, and then we pitted them together. If you don't have dates but you have date paste, or you made date paste, you could do like 1 to 2 tablespoons of date paste, and that'll work out. And the last few things, I'm going to rinse my hands, are some spices, okay? And so what we have is, I think you could, okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, but you could sub what I'm doing for celery seed. I'm not going to use celery seed today because I was out of celery seed. But if you have it, you can just use a 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. Because I don't have it, I'm going to sub it for a few different things. And one of those is mushroom powder. Yes, I made my own mushroom powder. You can make mushroom powder out of dried mushrooms, or you can dehydrate them yourself, or you can buy them dried. And then just you know, take your dry blender, blend it up, and just like with the rinds that I have back here, you have mushroom powder. So I want an umami flavor because I'm not using salt, okay? And so this combination is really good. So I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon. Let me get my little 1/2 teaspoon of the mushroom powder. And like I said, maybe maybe you're like, where am I going to get mushroom powder from? Yes, it's available. You can make it, like I said. But if you can't find it, or you already have celery seed, then just use that. Okay, so 1/2 teaspoon of the mushroom powder combined with 1/8 teaspoon of fennel seed. Fennel seed tastes kind of like a licoricey flavor. And so I don't want a lot of it, but I do want a little. Now, again, I'm putting it in here so I have it whole because it's going to blend up. If you were using date paste and you didn't really have those big pieces of date and you wanted to whisk it, you could do that, but make sure this is ground up, okay? And then the last thing, some smoked paprika. And I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You guys, this is going to taste so good, so citrusy, so delicious. No salt, no oil, no sugar, no nothing that's going to harm this body or yours. Okay, so now all I need to do is grab the top, and I like to shake it up a little bit. Shake it up. Ooh, ooh. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. I don't know that you can hear any music, but I do like a good dance party. So here I go. Oh, maybe not. Let's make sure this is in here. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, eat your greens. Eat your greens. And add some citrus. Oh my gosh. Okay. And you're not supposed to run the the NutriBullet more than a minute at a time. So remember that when you're having a good time with your dance party. All right. Okay. So, oh, Colleen says there was a Salad and Forks Over Knives magazine a few years ago. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of this kind of salad. I make a dressing with blood oranges that I love, Colleen says. You know what? That was something that I was interested in doing, and I think that's a great idea. You can always also sub out some of the lemon and lime juice and add any kind of other citrus, but the flavor will change. Okay, woo! All right, so Todd, can you,
Yes.
well, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it on the set. Let's do it this way, because I don't know if we're gonna eat this whole thing now. No, let's do it, let's do it. I'm gonna pour the whole thing over here. And I love to scrape this. And, but you know, what I was going to say is, do you want to taste this before it's actually in the dressing, you know, in the whole salad?
Sure.
Just to share the flavor.
Oh, wow. There's a lot going on there. It's a lot of citrus and
yes, it's a
spices and stuff. Yeah,
it's a citrus dressing. So
it's really good.
Good. I mean, I hope you like it.
I do.
So let me mix this up. And of course, if you like more dressing, double the recipe, you know. And I actually did that because I made some ahead of time in case we wanted more. So let me just finish this. I still have, thank you for being excited. I still have to add the avocado. So it might be a minute longer. And I did have some extra that I made earlier today. Look at how thick. See how it thickens up from the aquafaba over just a short period of time compared to the one that we just had. And you could certainly, you know, divide it up so you don't have to use, if you double it, you can save some if it seems like too much. But anyhow, okay, so let me cut up the avocado, add that in, and then we're going to be ready. So tell everybody what that tasted like.
Citrus and spices. It was really good, actually. It was actually a pretty intense flavor, more so than I was expecting. Which is really good. So I think once you add in the beans and the rest of the salad ingredients and the avocado, I think it's going to be a nice, well balanced thing going on.
So I don't. Okay, so what I want to ask you is, because you do like to have salt.
I do.
Now, this doesn't have any salt.
And it doesn't need it. That by itself was perfect just the way it was. I think if you add salt, it's going to get all kinds of weird.
All right, so let me just show everyone what this looks like. Here's the finished product. Here's our finished salad. And then go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
Or I can put some in a separate bowl, or he came with a spoon, not a not a fork.
I couldn't find the shovel in time, so
okay.
spoon
All
it
right.
is.
I'm going to try it too.
You
so
could. That's nice
salsa. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Really good. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it is absolutely more balanced when it's on the salad.
Right. I just was wondering what your thoughts were on it alone. And then, yes, when you mix it in here, especially with the heaviness of a bean, and when I say heavy, I just mean that beans are, the richness of them.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps it because balance it, like you said.
So good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay. Well, I hope that you guys try this. Thank you for staying with me over. Sometimes I get carried away. And I'm just going to show you one more time. Oh, Mona says, looks so good. Colleen says, I'll try to find it. Jennifer and Todd, to text it to me. Yeah, that would be great. Marilyn Dubin says, yay, party time. And I'm so glad that everyone had a time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Any last questions, let me know. Otherwise, I just want to say, everybody, don't forget to eat your greens. It's so important and so delicious. Please enjoy citrus. Citrus is such an amazing category of food that we now learned so much about. And I hope that it inspired you to try something new in the citrus world, including this recipe. Mona says, thank you both so much. Yeah, thank you. And Marilyn says, yum. We really appreciate having everybody. Don't forget to eat your greens. And as I always say, give plants a chance. They won't let you down, okay? Take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.